What is happening? What's up, everyone? Zack Miller here. Your favorite live host, podcaster, dude man, greatest hair, rock-loving anomaly of a man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are awesome. Today, I'm recording the 300th edition of this show. Woo! You know, for different episodes, we've had balloons and helium and craziness. Nothing like that today. Just a thanks for listening. If you've listened to all 300, that's amazing. I know that there's probably at least one person out there. Nasty Nate Scholl is probably who it is. He's probably listened to all of them. Eric Olson maybe might be another one, but appreciate it. All 300 is probably a little bit much to say that you've listened to all of them, but if you've listened to a lot of them, I appreciate you. And even if this is your first episode, well, thank you for that as well. So I got to thinking, like, what am I going to talk about, right? And so I got to thinking of the word pioneer. And to me, a pioneer is someone who sets out to try to do something that is not necessarily the status quo yet, the thing that a lot of people are talking about, right? So like right now in 2019, the big hot thing that everyone is talking about is podcast, right? Podcasts are the new radio. Podcasts are the hot thing that everyone is talking about, and everyone is getting on board with it. Now, last year they were definitely big, but I'm telling you, people are just hot and heavy over podcasts now. And usually when something is as popular that everyone is talking about it, like podcasts are now, you're too late to the game, right? You've blended in at that point, right? The new thing that from a technology standpoint that might be super popular coming up is something called flash briefings, right? Which is a way for you to get a shorter podcast out to people through like their Amazon Echoes, but not a lot of people are talking about that yet. So you could potentially, get on something like that while doing a same form of voice, but instead of a podcast, maybe do a flash briefing, which are very similar things in itself. But people aren't talking about that. So a pioneer is someone who starts doing something so early on that it's risky because you don't know if it's going to be that thing. I remember a few years ago, it was email. Everyone's talking about email. Like, oh, you got to get with email. You got to have an email account. You got to do mass email. You got to do this, right? You got to have a Facebook page. You got to do that. Like, that's podcast now, right? So Alexa Flash Briefings is what I think it's called. Could be that next thing. So maybe that's something that you should be looking at. I don't know that I'll do one. I probably should, but I just haven't jumped on board. But I want to talk to you guys today about something that I do think is going to be the next big thing. And we all have them in our pockets. Cell phones. Yes, of course, they're the next big thing, Zach. You're a moron. But specifically, text messages, right? I think text message is going to be the next ad campaign where emails were, right? So everyone is on their phones, and if you look at some data points, I think they check a person who receives a text message reads it within like a minute or less. And so where email was 10 years ago, where everyone was checking your email and every single email that you got, text message is where that was now. So if you haven't yet, I believe that when you are starting campaigns with people, when you are promoting your business with people, instead of getting their email or their Twitter handle or anything like that, right now, on January 29th of 2019, Zack Miller thinks that you should be getting someone's cell phone and creating conversations with the cell phone of that person, one-to-one conversations with them. And so what you'll find is that you'll have conversations like you want an email, and then when it's time to sell them something, give them that advertisement, you text them that thing, right? It's lightly being used now. I think it's more being used as mass, so like you get this, text me this thing type of campaign, so it's more being used as like a mass blast thing. But what I'm saying is you should be individualizing your campaigns, so literally having conversations with people via text message, and then sell everything through that. I think that's where we're going. Most people aren't talking about that. And most people feel uncomfortable with it, which means it's going to be disrupted, which means it's where things are moving, which means it's what's going to happen. So what am I saying? So if you meet someone, have a conversation with them, get their cell phone, and start having more of a conversation with them through their text message. And that is how business will be done. It's that simple. If you think I'm crazy, I want you to watch this episode in 2 or 3 years when it becomes the norm, and I will say, I told you so. So, if you feel uncomfortable with it, that means that you have the opportunity to become the pioneer in something like this, right? I text people all the time, and I have conversations with them there. I feel comfortable there. They feel comfortable there. And that is how business is being done. So you should do it too. And if you continue to do, mass emails, which do work, I'm not disagreeing with that. You could still do all your other campaigns. But this new one that I think is going to be the next big thing is individualizing, not mass blasting text messages, individualizing text messages one-to-one with people and doing your business through that. It's where you're already spending your life anyway. You add the business side of it, and guess what happens? Things are going to be good for you. So, start doing it. What are some other things that I pioneered over the last 10 years that people thought were stupid at the time? Meetups. I had a podcast a long time ago. Now people are like, oh, podcast is the thing. This is the 300th episode, right? You got to be the pioneer. Live shows. Shoot, when I was doing live shows like this, when it was like Google Hangouts Live 6-7 years ago, right? When technology comes out, you need to jump on it and do the little things, right? I'm telling you, if you start to think of your cell phone as the opportunity that I'm saying, the text message as the opportunity that I'm saying it is, the results that you're looking for, you will start to get because you listen to me. So, think about the scenarios. Number one, you're terrified, right? Oh, I can't do that. That means maybe something's there, right? When people push back, that means something's there. Number two, people are already there and the data is saying that it's there. And number three, if you individualize these things and have real conversations with people, it's just like the email was before, except now what is happening is that you get to actually talk to that person. And a lot of times you can read receipts and things like that. There's a lot of good data points behind doing stuff through text messages. So just like you would have a one-on-one conversation, just like you would in person, just like you would with your email, what I want you to do is literally start having all those conversations through text message. Text message, individualized text message. And I keep saying that because what people will do is they will try to do mass emails as mass text. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that when you get someone's phone number, right? So my phone number is, right? That's my phone number. I text you, you text me, we have conversations back and forth. I send you happy birthday videos, right? Just like you would on email, just like you would one-on-one, but now you do it through your phone. That's all I'm saying. Use your cell phone to your advantage. Use your text message to your advantage. You're already doing a lot of these things anyway, but you're probably not doing it for your business directly and specifically, so start doing it. And in a few months, when you start to see the results that you want because you're specifically using text message as your platform, you can thank me. It's that simple. Use text messages the way that you used emails. Use text messages the way that you're doing your campaigns, right? If you have someone's cell phone, they are literally attached at the hip to it. They are literally using these things. They can't live without them. So, go where people are, right? This is low-hanging fruit. This is where people are. No one's doing this yet. So do it. Have real conversations with people through their text messages and give them what they want. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments. Appreciate your time. Happy 300th episode. Peace.
You're listening to Zack Miller Says.